What's going on, guys? ShadowNinja here, and today we're going to be talking about a brand new Void build. Man, I love Void, and man, I'm trying to diversify some of the stuff I use in the game. It's very easy to get in love with something and just keep it on, but I'm trying to expand, use other exotics, especially as a Titan main, and Actium War Rig is definitely one of those exotics I was always keen on trying to use, but haven't. However, this season, with some of the seasonal mods as well as some weapons now in the loot pool, I really got determined at making this work. And my god, is this the ultimate never reload type of Rambo light machine gun build you can come up with. Now, if you guys don't know, Actium War Rig is a vanilla exotic, so if you guys don't have this by any chance, you can get it from those exotic engrams from Xur or just Lost Sectors, Legend Lost Sector specifically. Annotation here on screen to a how to cheese Lost Sector video if you guys are struggling to do that. Hopefully you get that exotic in this. But Actium War Rig basically does this. Auto-loading link is the intrinsic trait, and yeah, you'll steadily reload a portion of your equipped auto rifles or machine guns magazine from reserves. Provides a moderate benefit to airborne effectiveness stat of auto rifles and machine guns. Now, that is more of a PvP ending to that perk. The main chunk of what we are focusing on is the opening of that, so steadily reloads a portion of your auto rifles and machine guns. This is going to pair massively well with our Retrofit Escapade with 4 times the charm and target lock, and you'll be seeing a lot of great stuff. Now, with that being said, let's jump right into the build and showcase everything I got going on. So here we are. Look at the drip. I like to diversify my drip via, you know, the theme of the character, and I went with a little bit of an alien look. We have Quicksilver Storm. I don't have it, you know, Catalyst for some reason. I didn't really work on that at all. I'm still working on that, so this is right now kinetic. I think it goes strand when you catalyst it, but yeah, it works very well. It got the bug fix with the 40% damage increase that wasn't being applied, and yeah, we're also using the new Pinnacle Glaive. This has the stabilizing rounds and replenishing Aegis. You can swap. We'll go into detail. I don't know if the video is coming up before or after this video based on my schedule. Gotta look, but we're gonna be talking about this glaive. It's a Pinnacle Glaive that you guys definitely want to make sure you get. You guys should get if you play this game enough. It has the stabilizing rounds. It's going to pair well with Void. And then, as we mentioned earlier, Retrofit Escapade with target lock, 4 times the charm. This is craftable, so you guys do have this. Good for you. This from Season to Sarah. If you guys don't, then you're going to have to struggle a little bit to get this via, I guess, some of the gunsmith focusing. I forget exactly. With that being said, we know what War Rig does. We know what this does. How does this all pair with what the gameplay you have seen a little bit or will be seeing a little bit? So if we go to our Void subclass, our aspects are offensive bulk war and controlled demolition. Now, controlled demolition is very great for just abusing the hell out of volatile as a Titan, and offensive bulwark is really good for just over shields and getting our grenades regenerated quickly with being in Ward of Dawn. This is the super of choice because honestly I like it way better than a Sentinel Shield. This is my personal take. Now, the fragments we're using is Echo of Harvest. Defeating weakened targets with precision final blows creates an overpower and a void breach. We'll go over our personal mods of what we're going with, armor charges and all that stuff. So yeah, this is really good for just stacking on more of that regeneration. Now, we are using Echo of Undermining. I've actually been opposed to this for some reason because I just, you know, simply I like my grenades being 100%. Recently, Armamentarium, Max Discipline. It was great, but Vortex Grenade with this is going to allow you for some insane DPS with your LMG, constant fire. With 4 times the charm and target lock, it's actually going to have great synergy with that, and you'll be having a hell of a time, and you'll be seeing that pretty soon. We have Echo of Persistence. Void buffs applied to your invisibility, Overshield, and Devour have increased duration. Devour is essential in this build because picking up a Void Breach or an Overpower grants Devour, and that is thanks to Echo of Starvation. This is going to be incredible. You're going to constantly have Devour depending on the mode, and with some of these seasonal artifacts right now, we're using, you know, authorized mods for Void, grenades, and the multi-siphon mods for when we use strand weapons, which will be a thing when you have Catalyst for Quicksilver. Shatter Orbs is essential to this because there is a lot of Void enemies around this season, and you're going to be getting Orbs of Power ridiculous when you're matching Void with a lot of those Void things. Volatile Flow, because if you're not using this, you're kind of just, I don't know what you're doing. We have Bricks from Beyond, which will just make you generate heavy ammo consistently, and you're just going to be only using your LMG in most circumstances. We're using Void Weapon Channeling to increase some of that, you know, you gain temporary bonus to Void weapon damage after you defeat a target with a Void weapon with at least one of your Void class abilities fully charged. Not really using my barricade often, so this is great. And then we're also using Medieval Champion since we're using a glaive. Now, if you guys aren't using a glaive, then definitely opt for something different. This gives us unstoppable capabilities and things like that. But yeah, I am absolutely loving that little setup for the artifact. Now, when it comes to our build specifically, there are a few things. So Ashes to Assets is going to be granting us super energy on grenade kills. This is going to be pretty good for activating our Ward of Dawn consistently. And yeah, we have a few kinetic siphons for just generating orbs of power for Void and kinetic right now. When that becomes Strand, or I'm using a Strand auto rifle, that'll definitely condense to a multi-siphon, so that'll be good of just condensing my mods a little bit. Now, when it comes to our gauntlets, we're using grenade kickstart. This is going to be pretty powerful because for the most part with orbs of power, I'm always having a stack of 4 charges, and when we throw our grenade, we'll be refilling it up to a half degree, and we're getting our grenade more often. Now, this, obviously that perk works well on Armamentarium, but in War Rig, one thing that's essential is charge up, just extending it by 1, because when we have stacks on stacks on our leg armor, and we have some, surges to increase our damage output, stacks on stacks is going to make a wonder to your armor charges, and just constantly having grenades and things like that. This is a mod you should have on if you're trying to generate more regeneration and, you're constantly generating orbs. It makes sense to have this. Now, with our leg armor, we have Font of Restoration because as you see with my resilient recovery, it isn't that good. Now, special finisher, just in case if we need some glaive ammo, and then time dilation to extend our armor charges decation. It's really good. It's really powerful. And yeah, this build in itself is solid. Now let's jump into the gameplay part of it. So you're seeing us here in a Defiant battlegrounds, a lot of void enemies, and I am constantly just causing explosions, grenades, devours, generating orbs, constantly shooting our LMG or auto rifle. This build is honestly just a cheat code when it comes to most things in regards to ad clearing. Now, in the higher of endgame activities, obviously things become a little bit more bullet spongy, but I think with some of this stuff, it feels perfectly fine. I've done it in higher difficulty stuff, whether it's a legendary run of the Lightfall campaign. I've been doing that for my Guardian ranks, stuff like that. It feels masterful. And honestly, if your role as a Titan is to clear ads and just make the ads fear you, this build, along with our Armamentarium build that we have, annotation here on screen, are great Void builds to do that. With the Void subclasses, quickly, I'm realizing my favorite subclass as a Titan. It's incredible. The heals, the explosions, the grenades, the weakening stuff, the bubble. There is so much benefits to using a Void subclass as a Titan that honestly, it kind of makes me like, why do I ever use other stuff? Now, of course, I'm going to use other subclasses, make other build videos, but Actium War Rig and then just being a Titan with ad clear or Retrofit Escapade, it's just masterful. The glaive, as we mentioned, is a great synergy weapon with Void itself because it's destabilizing rounds. Now, it has other options like close to melee, but destabilizing rounds is just so good. I just don't want to not use it, especially for that glaive. It's honestly, this is one of my favorite builds. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, found this video informative. I should have probably mentioned before, but in the beginning of the video, but the dim link will be in the description or a pinned comment or both for you guys to just take this build for yourself. Obviously, the stats will vary per person, but collectively, this is a solid, amazing build that honestly can be considered a cheat code as a Titan. But let me know your thoughts down below. If you guys also found this video informative and enjoyed it and want to support the channel itself, definitely drop this video a like, helps out the video a ton. And if you guys are new here and want more content from me, definitely hit that subscribe button and that bell to be notified for when I drop more content. But that's all I got for this one. Hope you guys have a good one. ShadowNinja here, and I'm out.